Is here today to tell us how we can speed up our website using some of the tools that we can get online. I suggest everybody pull up their Google Analytics, go to behavior, and then go under their site speed. That will kind of get you in the right ballpark as far as where you want to be looking and checking out some of this information. All right, so Cameron, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me. So I'm just going to sort of start here. I'm going to get my presentation up. See if I got the right one. Yeah, that seems to be working. So website optimization, just a quick little bit about me. I'm an undergraduate business student. I'm in my 4th year, so I'm just coming close to the end here. I've been building and managing websites, like you said, for about 7 years now. I have about 1.5 years of job experience as a webmaster in a relatively large corporation, managing 30 of their corporate websites and working with several other clients outside of that role, building and managing their websites as well. And in the last year, I've started offering specialized web hosting on my own platform, helping people to get from the standard basic GoDaddy type hosting to something a little bit more powerful that suits their needs for their growing websites. So in order to think about how websites can slow down, sort of a good starting point is how do websites load? Where can we get these bottlenecks that will occur? So when you go on your computer and you go to load a web page, the first thing that your computer is going to do after you type in that domain name is it's going to query a domain name server. That's going to take the information that you've given it and it's going to turn it into an internet address. So it's going to take google.com, for example, and turn it into the IP address that I'm sure you've seen before. And that tells your computer where the web server is hosted, where it's sort of where the website lives, and how to get the information from your computer to that web server and back. So after that, what's going to happen, so you access the website, your computer is going to say, all right, take me to that server and get me this website. The server is going to run all the code that is associated with that. It's going to take all your PHP code, all of your MySQL database queries, and it's going to spit out a bunch of HTML that builds and describes the web page as you know it. So everything else in here, this is one really big point. If you have a dynamic website, which is basically any website on the internet today, anything that's run by WordPress, anything that has a database associated with it, it's going to be dynamic. It's going to require this section of time in order to get all that information you need and sort of build your website from that. So after that, your browser is going to read that HTML that it sends to it and download every related and supporting file. So this includes all of your CSS style sheets, your JavaScript, your images, anything that's not the HTML. This is probably the second biggest hang-up for where bottlenecks can occur, because it has to read all of your HTML and figure out every file that needs to be downloaded. They usually all get downloaded from the same server, and once they're downloaded, it takes probably 1 or 2 downloads at a time. So if you have, let's say, 60 JavaScript files and images, it's going to take 60 downloads to get those files. So the 3 major bottlenecks are the server processing time required to take that code and turn it into just plain old HTML, the number of files that you request, how many images, how many style sheets, how many JavaScript files you have, and finally the size of those files. If you have really, really big images, it's going to take you a really long time to download those as compared to more optimized, smaller images. So what can you do to limit these factors? So the one big one is limit the amount of content you have on a page. If you have a page that has a whole bunch of images and a bunch of sidebars and ads and things like that, each one of those is going to require time to download. So every one that you remove is going to help. An important thing here to think about is while one little change might not make a huge impact, every little change will build upon that. So it's a game of numbers. It's how many can you add up to make a bigger change.